Hello, guys. Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening.
How's it going, Chris?
Oh, not too bad. Wife's been at work all day. We've been taking the kids to football practice and doing all the jobs around the house. And then just been cooking a big roast Sunday tea. So I've got rid of them all. So right, no, you can't come down and play video games in the room right next to me because I don't want them other people to hear you, and B, I want to be able to hear what other people are saying to me. So
I love the spirit. Everyone is welcome, and you can tell them to tune into the live stream. Actually, that's a good way for them not to miss out.
they're far too busy trying to kill each other.
What's up, Hassan? Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
How have you been, Hassan?
Been quite well. I was trying to upload my video, but it
You got
didn't
some
work.
footage, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm just having some trouble uploading. So, yep, just give me a few minutes. I'll figure it out.
Amazing. Let's wait a couple of minutes. We got a couple of other people scheduled for today. Chris, it's your first time joining Track Help, right?
Yes, mate. Yeah,
When did you join the academy?
it's probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I guess. It's not long.
All right.
It's kind of more a case of, so I'm not a regular karter. I don't. I'm not going like every week or whatever. It happens to be that I enjoy a lot of motorsports. I do a fair bit of sim racing.
Excellent.
But it just happens to be that. So I work in the video games industry. So
Amazing.
this coming Thursday, there's basically a charity go kart, a 2-hour endurance race going on. So we're going to be loads
Excellent.
of various other criterion, lots of video game companies going. It's all for charity, mate. It's not serious, but they're really competitive buggers, some of the guys. So so
when they get out on track, that's when all the gloves off.
well, that's the thing. So, but it's also, so you find that there's a number of, so some of the teams are all turning up with race suits, logos of their company name on, the full works, race boots, gloves, suit, all suited up, and they've obviously been doing lots of practice, and they're taking it very seriously. Some people will be just offering a team of 4 people, and it's a very mixed skill set. So
do you know your teammates for the race?
I know my teammates. Yeah, they're people I work with. So I work for Red Kite Games now, which is part of the Sumo group. So there'll be a couple of other teams from Sumo in there. I think Sumo are sponsoring this particular one. But Games Aid is like an umbrella company, umbrella charity.
Okay.
For which there are multiple other charities to which they kind of vote on who will get the funding from whatever funds are raised. We do. Our primary one is a charity called Special Effect. So what Special Effect tends to do is it's quite topical right now, but their aim is to enable people with disabilities to be able to play video games. So people who can't use standard controllers, so money will go into funding for creating special motion controllers to allow people who can't regularly play games to do that. So that's kind of where we.
And is that like a device that you guys will make? And
we don't make it, but yeah, Special Effect will. So Special Effect is the charity that will enable. That's one of the companies that will get funding from Games Aid, which is the umbrella charity.
Gotcha.
So this is a Games Aid charity go-kart endurance race 2-hour thing.
That's excellent.
There was a northern qualifier and a southern qualifier. The northern one was at Three Sisters Circuit. The southern qualifier was at Buckmore. And then the 12 fastest teams from each of those 2 heats will end up at Wilton Mill. this Thursday for the final. So there'll be 24 teams of 4, or not up to 4.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
basically what you've been preparing for your footage.
Yeah,
So very nice footage.
I like my toys. So
How did you get the overlays on?
So that's that's my mobile phone. You can see there.
Okay.
And then just below it, that little thing with the red logo on is it called Racebox Mini? So that's a Bluetooth GPS receiver.
Yeah.
That will update its GPS location at 25 hertz, so 25 times a second.
Right.
You can run, if you just run Race Chrono on your phone. Your phone on average updates about 0.9 of a hertz about once a second.
Okay.
So it's good for an indicator, but it's not good for timing.
Yeah.
And the times I've been karting at a track, what you find is you go out there, you whiz round for half an hour or whatever it is, and you get a printout of your lap times, and you think, oh yeah, that's great. What did I do on that lap that was good, that made me quicker than the other laps I've done?
Exactly.
So you can take and that's a GoPro is a camera. Now the GoPro will do GPS itself. I think it's about 15 hertz, but what you find is you can grab the data from this and then dump it into merge it with this race chrono, which I find is useful there because there's a delta. So after your first lap, that's your kind of your baseline. So as the cross line hit, as we come across the finish line, now you'll start to see that was the current lap. So now there's a delta.
Okay.
So
bit of a delay, but then it
just pauses it so you can see it, and then it kind of updates in real time. So you've got that in front of you, so you can kind of see as you're out on the track.
That's
I made a change. Was it a positive or was it a negative? Did I end up going through that corner quicker, or
exactly,
or was a corner exit speed better? And is my delta now coming down the next straight kind of thing? So
many people ask how they can get these overlays on their own footage, and is it quite straightforward in post production when you have to put it all together?
Race Chrono is purely on your phone, so it's not like it's not a PC app. So it's an app you have on your on your phone. It's recording the GPS data from that little race box mini all the time, and I'm separately recording the footage on the GoPro. You then basically just have to somehow get that footage from the GoPro onto your phone. A bit of a process, but you get a version of the video onto your phone. Then you can link that video with that circuit session. Do a bit of kind of lining up so that you've got them synced, and then you can export it to things like circuit tools. Have you seen circuit tools?
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
So that's good. So you can export from Race Chrono to circuit tools as a VBO file, or you can export it to export the video with the overlay, and you can choose what things you've got. So I've chosen to have on my phone basically the elapsed time for the race. This is going to be a 2-hour endurance race. I kind of want to know that, okay, after half an hour, that's kind of now when it's time for me to come in, rather than be looking over and looking for a pit board and people calling.
Faffing about.
And similarly, when the other guys go out, they know that the race will be over in 2 hours. So that's the time stamp that they need to come in. It's showing the fastest lap so far, your previous lap and your current lap.
Excellent.
A little bit of speed. So.
And then live, if you're gaining or losing, I guess, on the top right.
That's right. Yeah.
So 0.5 down currently on this lap.
I'm the quickest out of all the guys in our team, so unfortunately they're always going to see a plus delta.
But they can use that to gauge. Okay, the lower the number,
they can see what is possible to achieve in this particular car that they're driving. So.
Exactly. Speaking of the carts, is it a random card draw for this race?
Yeah, random cart one.
Okay.
And we always seem to get certainly not the best one.
Ziad's got a good question. He's asking, can you record on your phone while you're karting?
Yeah. So that's
You get a good angle.
you could. I mean, I've that little thing that says Jamash or whatever. That's it's like a neoprene jogger's phone holder. If you're a fitness guy and you want to go jogging, you get these things you strap around your arm and put your phone in so you can listen to music. That's basically what that is. So I just kind of strap that around the wheel. So that's
Excellent.
my dial indicator. If you, I mean, you could use the camera on the phone to record a video along with that, but you're not going to get a good picture from from that. So I tend to prefer.
Actually, Zayad, what you want to do is get a GoPro mount. I believe you're using the same mount, right, on your helmet, Chris?
Yeah,
so
that
curved mount or something.
This one here is a helmet mount, just like a thing that you can just strap onto the chin part.
Ah, gotcha.
I've got a few other videos. Three Sisters don't allow you to have any helmet mounted cameras or on the car, but they do allow you to have a chest mount. So I've got some videos at Three Sisters with the chest mount, but Wilton Mill won't allow you to use a chest mount for risk of injury, but you can stick something on your helmet. So
excellent.
You've got
and I've heard there's different tracks, have different opinions on that. Some, prohibit GoPros completely, as you said. Some allow on the helmet, some allow only on the chest. But I don't know. I think I guess it's safety at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When I did some racing in the UK last year, I had the same thing with Three Sisters. Wilton Mill were fine with the helmet. I remember a track in Brentwood did allow helmet mounts, and then now they've got this insurance thing. So they're sort of changing as the months go on. But I think at the end of the day, they get good promotion for their tracks, and also for drivers to review their footage as we're going to do over here. We've seen a couple of laps of you driving. What was your best lap time at the end of this session?
The best one on this one is probably lap 17, as far as this is recorded. It'll be down as lap 16 on the chapters, I think.
Gotcha.
Our lap is lap 1. There's a few within similar, but basically they're like a 103. I think 103.44, 103.42, like
not
a
bad, not bad.
103.6. And that's with the new. This is the new layout with the new final chicane.
Exactly.
So we did it last year without that.
Yeah.
But again, they've stuck that chicane for safety, I believe.
This was one of the most enjoyable tracks I did. I did it without the chicane last year, and the sessions that we booked, one was dry, and then the second one there was a shower. So both conditions we got. What's the weather looking like for the race this weekend?
Hopefully not too bad. We did it last year. We managed to get to the final last year.
Yeah.
And as we were driving there, the heavens opened. So
and
I've never driven in the wet. So this is a new one. Okay, in the wet. And everybody was all over the place. I went out first, and it was still kind of raining when I went out.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that I kind of was very cautious. I held back, expecting a ton of carnage into the first quarter oblivion, and then through Crook, the second one, expecting a lot of stuff to go wrong, and it did. So I tippy-toed my way through all that. I think we started 17th because we didn't qualify very well.
Okay.
And by the time we got to Christmas, or just round Christmas, I was up to about 6th.
Wow.
But,
wow.
But unfortunately, 2 carts spun just after you come through Christmas, and then you start to go through that little S before you head down towards Ashby. 1 cart spun, which I managed to avoid, and I had to avoid going to the right, which is on the slightly downhill side, and another cart had also spun. And bear in mind, these guys, these aren't people that do it all the time. They don't. He'd spun and he didn't keep his foot on the brake. So he then rolled backwards across the track, and I basically got reverse punted from the side.
Oh gosh.
Onto the grass, and then sat on the wet grass. Yeah, just about here. Yeah.
So, this is the section that we're talking about. That's
a little bit back. Yeah, back from there. And then I was sat there for about a lap trying to get back on.
Oh gosh.
So we were lapped down at the end of it. But if that hadn't happened, then we would have gone from 17th to 6th and hopefully gone a bit better. But given that I'd never gone in the wet before, I was convinced that somebody had spilt fuel or petrol or some oil over the track, because it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just like like an ice rink. You would turn the wheel and nothing would happen,
Right.
and you'd hold the wheel and still nothing would happen, and eventually then it would slow down to the point where it would bite and then you'd start to turn a bit.
That's it. That's the weather.
It was yeah. So that was an eye opener. So I've since done a lot more reading on what to do in the wet. So hopefully it'll be dry, but it's Britain in September, so who knows?
Yeah. What we'll do, let's go through the lap, and then we'll go over some tips that you can note specifically for the endurance race itself. I mean, looking at this track, is there any way particularly you're struggling with?
I don't
Yeah.
struggle anywhere, but what I mean, I'm fairly good through the first two. I'm not particularly on this one, but yeah, I'm not too bad through Oblivion and Crook, and then up to Christmas. It's more the kind of so I've been quite a few times to Three Sisters predominantly, but what I've never really, and I don't have the opportunity now between now and the race to do, is what kind of steering input should I be going for? So
Great question.
You go to these tracks, you race around, and there's nobody there who's going to give you advice. You don't get any coaching. So it's some things say you want to be really smooth as you can.
Yep.
Whereas some other corners you may, I think in some of your videos you say you always want to be quite aggressive on your turning for the hairpin, and then straighten back up. But I don't know whether that's something that I need to do on the actual race, because I haven't done that. So what I don't want to be doing, especially in an endurance race, is barreling up, giving a load up, and then spinning, because it's all about keeping it on the tarmac, really.
Absolutely. Really good points you made there. In terms of steering itself, these karts themselves are quite difficult to do neutral steer. Neutral steer is where you're almost at the point of drifting. You're aggressive on your initial inputs, and that's just because the karts weigh a lot. So you'll end up doing a lot of smooth steering with being quite progressive, and towards the exit of the corners, that's where you can sort of straighten back up and bring it to a neutral position.
It's all about maintaining momentum, I believe, keeping your speed up.
Absolutely. So that's the key. What we can do to help us with neutral steer, let's say at this hairpin, fairly tight corner, use the brakes to turn. How do we compress the brakes?
Just about kind of where this kind of little brown road comes in on the left is.
Okay, further down.
So yeah, just there. That's pretty much where I'm starting to apply the brake. I'm at no point am I chirping the wheels. This is, as you know yourself, this is a downhill and slightly adverse camber corner. So very, very easy to spin. So the last thing I want to be doing is locking up as you're going into this. So I'm a bit tentative, but it's just, do I want to be hard on the brakes? It's more the case of like, should I be braking in a straight line, then leaving a little bit of braking as I turn in to get a bit more rotation, or do I want to be braking in a straight line off the brakes and then steering in? I mean, I never really kind of get the apex bang on this one. It's
what I like about your driving is overall you've got the line there, and you're quite consistent as well. So all you want to do is start experimenting where the limits are. You're very smooth on your line, you're very smooth with your braking, let's say even into this hairpin as well. Nice execution, decent attempt at the apex using the runoff and exit. To gain a bit more time, and especially in rentals you can do this, is being aggressive on the brakes, being aggressive on that initial turn-in, and create that mini slide effect. We call it slip angle. You want a high amount of slip angle. And what you'll notice is right before the corner over here, about this point, as opposed to progressively turning to the right, you'll actually be counter steering slightly. And that's when you're hitting the limit. Now, let's say you're at the apex and you're counter steering all the way to the left and you're locking your hands. That's too much sliding. That loses you momentum. You want to be sort of in the middle. So always think of, before this apex, is my steering wheels, am I still turning it to the right, or is it in a neutral position? The moment you can have it in a neutral position, that means you're set up to drive it in a straight line as possible, and preferably be on the gas as well before that apex. All you got to think about is sort of braking earlier than normal, and also being aggressive with that braking and turning. What I like to do to manipulate that high amount of slip angle is about here in the corner, hard on the brakes and turn at the same time.
Okay.
And that gives me a big dose of almost oversteer. Then I try to control that by releasing off the brakes by here, and then start feeding the gas just before the apex. Same thing goes for a couple of corners which are coming up. This fast left-hander, this isn't necessarily as much braking as the previous corner.
So I just lift there, just lift slightly before turning on towards the apex. You can pretty much go flat, and then you take as much of that little bit of feeder road there on the right.
Exactly, perfect.
As you turn, you don't want to touch that touch the apex curb. Really, it will unsettle it somewhat, and then run it all the way out again and cross into this little bit of tar pack, making sure you've got back on before the big dip. But this corner here is an important one, which I haven't mastered yet, because there's a straight after it, and you kind of need to be maximizing your speed down that straight before the boot. So I find that my corner exit speed from that second part, it's a little left, almost like a left-right chicane type thing. I need to improve that a bit.
What's your reference for braking here?
It's hard to see on this video, but there's a partial post on your left.
Ah, okay, on the left. Interesting. And is it quite late, so about now you're braking, or just before, you'd say?
So what I've tended to do here is not hard on the brakes. So I've been almost trail braking slightly, but I've got a feeling I might need to go a bit deeper into the corner before starting the turn in.
Okay.
You really want to take a late apex on this corner, so that you can straight line out of that, and then just run your two wheels over that curb, and then you straight down down that little straight before you get to the boot.
It's a good line you're taking, and it makes sense because you were trying to prioritize the exit speed. Something you can experiment, right? Might work, might not. It's worth trying. Is bringing the braking slightly earlier, maybe just after this patch on the right side. Try to be hard on the brakes, more aggressive, and actually go for a slightly earlier but sharp turn-in. So the moment we can turn in early and also sharp, that will induce some oversteer. So naturally, you'll be now steering a bit towards the right as opposed to the left, and it'll force you to skip this early apex, but then you'll hit a mid apex sooner. So you see there's a gap over here. You might be closer to the inside apex. The logic behind this is we're taking a slightly shorter path. We're also getting on the gas sooner, so we spend less time on the brakes. And from about the mid to late apex point, then we can take the same line. So just accelerate through the corner, take the shortest path to the next turn to the right, and keep going. So that's something you can experiment. Maybe in practice next time you go. Can I be more aggressive on the brakes? Can I get the rear end of the cart to step out a little? Control that oversteer on entry of the corner. And about now, we want to be back on the gas. So as opposed to trail braking into the corner, get on the gas as soon as possible. That's essential with these biz carts, because the moment you lose the revs, very difficult to build them back up. And then you'll be a sitting duck just coming onto this back straight.
Yeah, I find that if you brake hard enough to actually lock the rear axle, then the revs die completely. So you
that's the balance you want to find, and especially in these. Oh, tell me about it. We have a fleet of these carts where I drive as well, and it's all about finding the limit.
There's a couple of laps within this video. I'm not sure. I think they commented on, but there's one go where a guy comes past me just into the first one, Oblivion, I think it is. Yeah, there we go. Passed by a faster driver, I think.
Is it 9 maybe?
No, but a bit later. So it's passed by. There you go. That lap there.
Gotcha.
12. So I treat these sessions here whereby I'm not racing. So if there's somebody fast behind me, I'll much rather. There you go. He's come past, and he's got a bit more momentum anyway, but he's just going to disappear.
He looks
Now,
like a teenager.
he is lighter.
Very light driver.
He might have a better car, but what I've noticed from watching back this, you'll see
Yeah.
on a couple of probably into Ashby,
Yeah.
there's a fairly quick turn. The car will just whoop, there you go.
There you go. Look at
So
that.
he turns very quickly, whereas I'm kind of trying to be smooth.
Smooth and progressive, yeah. And honestly, you should start like that, because the moment you start being too aggressive when you learn a track, you can get into bad habits of sliding, and
Yeah.
it's difficult to reverse that. It's better to be smooth and then add the aggression in slowly. I do it corner by corner. So for example, next time you go to the track, just apply this hard braking technique and aggressive steering input for the hairpin. The next session, do it for the corner that's coming up over here to the left. It's interesting, just by looking at this lap, he's on a similar line. He goes quite late into the chicane, but he's gone by now within a lap.
It's a late apex, that one. You've got a late apex.
You got to do late apex. What I'd recommend is just earlier break.
You can get away with other stuff, but you're in a rental car, so you've got to
Exactly.
just speed up, otherwise you lose it all down the straight.
This final chicane is very interesting because it's really about it's flat out. I assume you're taking it.
Oh no, it was flat out before they put the chicane in. So in the boot section, what they would do previously, you would enter the boot, which is the left-hander, which is kind of, and then this, so you would turn in here, and then you would keep yourself well to the left. You would sort of apex this one, but then you would completely ignore the next right-hand corner. You would start to run the you'd be full on the gas. Now and previously you would be running it all the way. You would ignore this apex that's coming up now. You would run it all the way out to the outside, and then flat, and then you'd be able to go down pit bend flat out. But so that's what it would be. Whereas now I feel you need to keep it more well over to the right hand side here. You can't take this left flat.
Okay.
I found that I couldn't. I found I'm having to brake. In fact, one that was like lap 3 or whatever, or something, I spin at that particular one because I braked 2.
I saw that. Yeah, I remember. So is it a tap on the brake you're doing at the moment?
I think it's a tap on the brake, and I think it's going to be because you can see a bit of rubber, like so you don't really want to clip that; it unsettles it. You just need to. That's the exit I need to focus on.
Yeah, that's it. The rubber.
I don't imagine you've have you been to Wilton Mill since they've changed?
I went there in where did I go? Back in April, actually. So they added, that was when it was fresh, and we were doing some owner kart practice there that day.
Right. Okay.
But it's obviously completely different, and the first few laps of this new layout, people were mounting this curb and jumping,
you can in an owner car. I mean, certainly one of the things they give you in the briefing before you go out is don't damage our cars.
That's it.
you must not use the curbs. We will. If you touch the tires that are on there too many times, then that's it. Black flag, end of session. But I find you can't, if you're going, you might be able to go a bit slowly, but I found that if I entered this first left too hot, then it would compromise my ability to turn right and then get out this, because this is the important one, because that's then you start finish straight, and then you're into oblivion, and then up towards Christmas. So you've got to keep that speed up.
The line looks good, but this is a typical corner where you can really use your body weight to manipulate the weight transfer. Are you leaning in this corner?
Yeah, I'm trying to lean out.
Yeah. So as we turn left, I'd be excessively leaning to the right. What this will allow us to do is get a bit more grip on those outside tires, and then immediately from leaning right, about here now we should be starting to lean left, and it's a quick transition. As you turn to the left, you now immediately turn to the right. What's important is try to get neutral steer early in this corner. So what we don't want to do is, sometimes it's kart related where you have understeer. You have to hold excessive steering angle, and that just becomes frustrating, because what happens is the more we hold the steering angle, then by the time we get to the apex, now we're opening up, and then we're turning to the right. So it becomes difficult to get closer to the inside apex. So try to be aggressive with your leaning for that corner, but then also your initial steering input. Feel free to almost flick the cart to the left. So as you turn to the left, maybe add that tap of the brakes as you're doing already. Sharp turn to the left and lean out, and that will the rear end of the cart will almost kick out. And when you feel that step out, that's when you start bringing your steering wheel back to the middle. You're controlling that oversteer. Try and induce that in this corner, and then immediately think about leaning to the left now as you turn aggressively to the right. It's all about keeping that momentum high. What you can eventually do, if you can experiment this, of course, maybe adding a lift instead of a brake. And when you go for a lift instead of a brake, you have to do that quite early in the corner. So think about almost now, or even a split second before this. Is there a clear reference for braking, or is it on feeling for this corner for you?
It's the first time I've experienced this news again there.
Yeah.
And it was for the 2 20-minute sessions, and then that's it. And then I've got the race on Thursday, so there are no more sessions between now and then. So honestly,
the next practice session that you probably will have in this qualifying, try it for a couple of laps. If not, then revert back to your own style, because you want to keep to what you know. In
all I've got is the qualifying, so it's a 2-hour endurance. I think there's 20 minutes where each member of the team has to go out, and you've got 20 minutes, and whoever gets that sorts out your grid order for the start.
Exactly. What's the strategy looking like? I mean, how many drivers on your team?
One of them's pulled out, so there's now going to be 3 of us. So it's
all right.
Basically teams of 4, minimum 3 driver changes. So if you had 4 people, then but what it's going to end up that I'm going to go twice. So I'll do the first and last stint, and then there's 2 other guys in between me.
Will you have to refuel at least once?
You do
during this time.
So I think you can do it at any time, but from memory, they say the cart's got about an hour and a half's worth of fuel.
Yeah.
So the ideal is out for 30 minutes, in fuel, and then that's it, and do the first driver swap at that time, so you don't so you're not wasting time.
I think it's important you have somebody who's not driving, observing that fuel bay all the time. And obviously closer to the time it's going to get full and you'll get a queue. So what you don't want to do is get called in after a good stint and then lose all that by queuing for fuel.
Golden rule is don't follow anybody into the pit.
That's it. How's the communication going to work? Is it signs or radios? However you.
It's probably just going to be it'll be I think they have pit boards, so it's like your cart number that somebody hangs out. You can wave a flag. We tried using radios last year, but unless you spend a lot of money on radios, then it's a waste of time trying to use walkie-talkie type stuff. So
there's some on Amazon. I need to get the link first, but it was quite a good deal, and some guys were using it in one of the endurance races I did earlier this year. But it's all about having the opportunity to test it before the race. Otherwise, you'll be faffing about, and then it happens like that. So, are you prioritizing the faster driver to do more time on track?
Ideally, but we're not going to win. We're not going to podium.
Top 10, top 5.
We'll see. It all depends. Last year we had one of the ladies from admin was on our team that was forced upon us, and bless her, she tried her best, but she was, well, put it this way, when we qualified at Three Sisters, she was 10 seconds a lap slower than we were, and Three Sisters is like a 50-second lap. So if you're losing 10 seconds a lap, after
true, you have to be realistic sometimes.
Very quickly you're a lap down. So after 5 laps, you're a lap down. After 10 laps, you're 2 laps down, and you cannot make that time.
So the current teammates, what experience do they have in karting? Are they quite
none really either?
None. Oh, okay. You're going to be carrying them.
Taking them along, dragging them down, taking them to Three Sisters, show them what it is, give them advice, and done that. So one guy's not too bad.
Okay.
He's probably about 1.5 to 2 seconds slower than me, maybe, per lap.
Yeah.
The other guy, we hoped he was going to be good.
Yeah.
But I think he's just overdriving. So there's a number of off-track excursions and a few spins. If you spin, you've lost 10 seconds at least, if not.
Yeah.
In endurance races, it's he who cocks up the least wins. Basically, if you can
That's
keep
it.
going around without spinning, then that's it. That's good. But if you spin, then it doesn't really. It's certainly if you're only like half a second between lapping between the other guys, you're not going to make that time back up.
Exactly. I think just tell them, keep it on the track. Don't get too nervous and enjoy it, because it's not every day you get to do these races. And then maybe you need to make an agreement if things are going well after your stint. Look, guys, we're going to just have to put a couple of laps for you guys, then I'm going to take the wheels for the rest.
We kind of did that last year in one sense. So the lady who wasn't very fast, after we lost 10 seconds a lap at Three Sisters, fortunately it rained at Wilton, so she went out during the quali bit and scared herself, so was happy to do an out lap, a flying lap, and then an in lap. So,
you didn't even have to convince her.
I at again with fueling, Three Sisters, the fueling window opens after 45 minutes. For half an hour, I believe. So I did a 45-minute stint, and as soon as it came in, opened up, I was in, and then the other guys all did like 20 minutes each. I took the kind of lion's share. Wilton, I think it opens after half an hour, and I think it's possibly open for 45 minutes to an hour. You can pretty much fuel it when you want, but it's half an hour into the race is when they open up the pits for fueling. So I don't know, given how heavy these carts are, I don't know how much fuel weight makes a difference. But the idea will be do half an hour, come in, driver change, refuel, and then at least you're burning that fuel off for the rest of the session. So but how much of a proportion the weight of fuel is to that cart, I think it's not very much.
I think hope for the best in the cart draw and then just send it, no expectations, but you never know. It's racing. Anything can happen.
Exactly. But you just don't know what cart you're going to get. It's luck of the draw. As I say, I did a practice session at Three Sisters, and I got a 51.0 lap time. It was my kind of,
excellent.
I was in the 51s all the time, and then the best one I got was 51.02. In the race, we got a cart, and the best I could manage was 53.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it was just the cart would not turn. You would turn, nothing happened. It just understeered, and no matter how much throwing of your weight around, or you just could not get it to turn. So
it's one of those.
It is what it is.
All the best for the race, Chris. Again,
Thank
thanks a lot for sharing, and
it'll be streamed live on Alpha Live. So
amazing! Share a link on the Academy page. You can make a post, and
the stream link isn't published at the minute, but you'll find it's on Thursday the 12th at Wilton Mill. If you go to Alpha Live, then there'll be the Alpha Live YouTube channel. It will be streamed live on there. It's a Games Aid charity go karting event.
Excellent. And what's your team name so we can all support you?
Our business is Red Kite Games. So
Red Kite Games. There we go. We'll be putting W in the chat for Red Kite Games.
And please donate if you can. If you've got a few spare coffers, there'll be a QR code up in the live stream all the time. You can.
Excellent.
They'll be streaming it live with cameras, commentary, live timing, all the works. Almost as if you're a real racing driver.
There you go. That's what karting does. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss before we go on to the next driver?
Not really. Just kind of should I be just being smooth, or should I be aggressive at turn in and then see if I can?
I think in the long term, try to push the limits now. You got a great foundation. You got on the line, very, very smooth. It's about finding the limit of grip now. That's what the top drivers do. When you look at their onboards, they're barely turning the wheel, but they're doing that by using the brakes to turn, using their body weight as well. And it just comes with more and more practice. So it'll be difficult to implement that in the endurance race, because you don't want to try something new and then compromise timings. But going forward, for future practice sessions and races, I think you can start pushing the limits. And hopefully, once you get some more footage, we can see how you're getting on, in future track help sessions.
Nice one.
Been a pleasure, Chris. Really, really enjoyed going through that with you.
Thank you
We
very
had
much.
You can stay on the live stream, or you can watch it on YouTube, as we're going to go on to the next driver now.
Cool.
And we had lots of people join. We're going to take a quick break for some questions. We had some people in the chat as well commenting. We have people saying Three Sisters is a great track, one of the best tracks. Some very, very powerful cards there. All right. What's up, Noor? Welcome, Noor.
Hi, welcome. Thank you.
Noor, I believe you joined last week, but then we missed you. So
Yes.
It's great to have you back. Noor, where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Canada, Ottawa to be specific.
Excellent, excellent. So the track you shared was somewhere in Ottawa?
So it's in Gatineau. It's the Go Karting.
Excellent.
Yeah, I can send in the chat.
Yeah, if you share the track name in the chat, I'm going to take a look at that. And I'm just reviewing the pin comment. We're expecting Jackson to join. Jackson has wanted to join for a couple of weeks from Australia, but I don't know how the time zone is, or maybe he's occupied. We had Chris. We've just gone through. We've had Andre. So Andre, I think if he's not able to join this week, probably have to do his next week. But then we've got everyone else as well. We've got the regulars. What's up, Rami?
Hello.
Welcome back, Rami. You're a regular on Track Help now. Is your vacation over? Are you back in Lebanon now?
Yeah, tomorrow is the first day of school.
Ah, okay. You missed the Saudi Games competition. Have you heard of the Saudi Games?
No.
All right, this is going to be awesome to share with everyone. So let's see if I can bring it up. Saudi Games. Let's type in Forza Motorsport. I want to give a big shout out to Forza Bahrain. So to fill everyone in the chat, as we take a brief break to go over this, let's share the entire screen. The Saudi Games. The Saudi Games is an annual competition, and it's an owner car competition, which is one of the biggest in the region for prize money. Now, anyone want to guess how much the winner gets in prize money? Cash.
1 million.
Oh, 1 million what?
Dollars.
Yeah.
1 billion.
I think
The 1 million is
100,000
correct.
riyal.
The 1
1
million,
million riyal.
it is 1 million Saudi riyals. The winner gets of a karting competition. That's $250,000. And it happens every year. It's supported by the Ministry of Sports, and they have a category for each sport. So you have karting, you have archery, horse riding, all the Olympic sports as well. So karting this year was won by Forza Racing. It was driver on the right over here. Actually, Mus'ad is rapid driver. He came earlier this year to the Lusail karting track. He did some testing in my kart actually, and we had a chat. He was showing great potential, and he put it all together this weekend and came out on top for the victory. So here are some of their highlights. I believe this is the official post. Yeah, this is some pictures from the weekend. So it's very competitive every year. You got different teams who basically enter. I believe it's Rotax Senior. That's the engine that they run. And yeah, it's a really nice setup. So Rami, they run this at the Fun Extreme track. These are some highlights we got over here running.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Remember, I think we were going through it last time. Here's a nice clip of them going through it. So I believe they're running a couple of chassis. They've got the winners So Mus'ad was running a Kart Republic chassis. Then they've got Biralat, I believe, Skyline Racing. That's the black and red livery. There's a Tony Kart team as well, and there's a couple of others. But the requirement to enter this competition, you got to be a Saudi national, or you got to be a resident in Saudi for at least 2 years. So anyone who's planning to move to Saudi, you can maybe challenge yourself to go for a $1 million prize money karting challenge. Comment below.
I have a
if-
question.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. What if we get let's say what a license, racing, Saudi racing license or Middle Eastern from the Gulf license? Would they let us participate?
You'll have to check with their regulations online. If you type in Saudi Games Karting rules and regulations, there's a PDF document. I read that, I believe it was last year. But they're very strict for this competition itself because of, the prize money and all this kind of stuff. Other competitions, which are local, like the RMC they do there, that's open for license holders. But this specifically, I think you've got to be a national or resident there for 2 years.
That's cool.
Oh, okay, thank you.
No worries. Let's go over to who else joined over here today. We got Marcel. What's up, Marcel? Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I was a bit late. I had troubles with my PC, so I'm on my work laptop now.
No
How are you
worries.
doing?
Very, very well, thank you. I saw you shared some footage from last week's race. When was this footage recorded?
Yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday. Okay, so very, very fresh. Hopefully, if we get a chance, we'll go through it today. If not, we'll probably save it for next week.
No, I have to go to bed on time, as you know, so that will be a problem for this week. So
No worries.
I didn't expect it for this week.
No worries. No worries.
But it was really, really fun. So
I look forward to going through that with you. Hopefully, when we get a chance. Probably first review next week. What do you say?
yeah, good, no problem.
Excellent. What's up, Harry? Welcome back.
Hello, hello, hello.
How was your trip to Brentwood?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Lots of crashes, usually me in them, but yeah, it was quite fun. I was actually there with Zach, who's here, I think.
Oh, what's up, Zach? Welcome back, Zach.
Hello.
Zach, you came on last week, right? We were going through
Yeah.
Lakeside, I believe it was.
No, we're going through. Well, you were watching my.
A couple of your videos, yeah?
Yeah, a couple of my videos from track at Croydon.
Amazing. How was Brentwood with Harry?
Yeah, it was really good.
You enjoyed it, yeah?
Yeah.
Harry, how did the new camera angle go?
It's difficult to say how it works. It's good, but also like there's issues with it. So
I'll just put it up so everyone can see, actually, whilst we discuss it. So this is Insta Go, I believe, right?
yeah, the 3S, the Go 3S, which is like the new one. So it's good quality, but the issue is that obviously it's vertical. So there's this thing called free frame where it records both ways.
Yeah.
But it didn't do it this time because I reset the recording or something like that, so it didn't do it. So I got it vertical, so it's more ideal for TikToks. But I've got another view where it's so I put on a bandana and I put like a clipper mount onto it, and then so
Okay.
the magnets on, and so then it's right at the top of my helmet, so it's literally like a cam box, but it's
Wow.
pretty good. And it's a lot better because it's a lot more like central. This one's a lot more like F1.
Yeah. And it's on your forehead, this bandana, right? So you
Yeah.
you wear it, and then do you put your balaclava on top of that, or you don't wear a
I
balaclava?
don't really wear a balaclava unless it's like
Okay.
super cold.
And did you try that method
I
during the
did it.
session?
I did it at an indoor karting race, but it's too dark. So I had my tinted
Hmm.
visor on. It was too dark. So here it's obviously turning to night because they got the lights on. So I had
Yeah.
my clear visor for this. It's kind of perfect, but it was too dark for the. It was just like it was. You could see it, but it was too. Oh, I'm commentating here, but it's too dark. But you can see what's going on, but it's way too dark, and you can't
Yeah.
really turn it back up.
On Insta, can you actually adjust the frames so make it look to the right? You know how it's more to the left over here in the app.
Yeah.
I
So
believe.
it's pointing towards it. It's pointing. So I have like this little 3D print which goes into it, into my helmet, into my helmet. Yeah. So
Nice,
it
nice.
points to the left a little bit, but I am, as I was saying, like this. It wasn't recording horizontally, so if it recorded horizontally, it'd probably be a bit better. But
Yeah.
it's new, so I've got to just experiment with it and see what I can do with it. Because
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to figure out how I can do it. Let me try and show you from my side. This one over here, maybe. So do you have the Insta 360 Studio added?
yeah, I've got it, but it's not really much you can do with it. Like I was trying to see it, but I can't really change the angle because it was pointing to the left a tiny bit, but like
Yeah.
not too much. So you can't really do much with it. But
All
I
right,
mean,
let
still,
me.
it's you can't get any footage of Brentwood, so it's the
Yeah.
best you can get really.
Is the best. What you can try, I don't know if this works on the model you got. It probably should. Share entire screen. So basically, you open the app on your laptop,
Mhm.
and on this bottom portion, you can change the ratio. So this is 9:16.
Mhm.
I can fix it so it's looking straight, but now it's panning to the left. So
Yeah.
I
So
can, yeah.
mine's not a 360. It's not a 360 camera.
Ah, okay.
If you search up Insta360 Go
Yeah.
3S, I'll put it in the chat. It's like the smallest action camera.
Because what I can do, I add a keyframe and then I just drag it to reposition,
Mhm.
and then I can pause it, add a keyframe, reposition. So we got this large field of view, and then we're just constantly tracking whatever object in front. I think you can even set it to track, add a keyframe again, like that. I didn't know that the small one isn't 360 then.
No. It's only got it's not 360. So yeah, it's
Okay.
just tucked in the side of my helmet.
Gotcha. Not bad. Let me know how it goes with the other versions. Be sure to share some clips because
Yeah.
I'm thinking of trying it out myself. But how is the latest GoPro that just got released? Is it GoPro Mini?
It's called
GoPro,
GoPro Hero.
yeah,
But
is it
it
the
looks
new
good,
one?
but it just looks. I mean, I don't see that much the difference really. I just think it's like a smaller GoPro. I just think it
It's
doesn't
not that
really.
big. Yeah,
I think it's still as small. It's not as small as like the Insta360, for example.
exactly. It's
I
not going to
think
fit in your helmet, kind of
yeah,
thing.
and also it's going to be like painful to put in it.
This is it apparently.
Hmm
So it's
It's
still
the
too
so
big.
there's the Hero 13 and there's the Hero. The Hero's the small one, I think.
Ah, yes, right. And the 13's got all these features. Who put in the chat? Somebody put that in the chat right now, or earlier. It was Ziad, I think it was. Yeah, Ziad. Ziad was asking what are some good GoPros. I mean, I was using 9, and
It
that was a couple of years
overheats.
back. Overheats, that's right.
I
I
think
was
it's the
using
10. This is the best.
10, exactly. One of my friends a couple of years back, he got the 10 when it came out. Quality on the video was almost the same. We compared 9 and 10. But then overheating, battery life as well is a bit better. Then 11 was a bit useless. I didn't see
There's no
any reason.
difference.
12, you get that wider field of view, right?
Yeah, I think
Maybe a
the
bit
difference
clearer.
is now that so like the 7, 8, and 9 had a chip which was overheating, and then now they've updated it, so now
Oh,
it's better.
okay. Gotcha.
I've got to go for like 10
No
minutes.
worries. I'll let you go. Let's what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna Marcel?
I use the 10 and I'm filming in 4K 60 FPS, so it's really good.
Excellent, because yours always comes out very clear, especially in the daytime shots that you get. 13, I don't know. They always do good marketing, and they always try and make you buy the new stuff. But until I see some karting footage, then it'll be worth checking out. I think they do 5.3K now and all this, but really 10, is best bang for buck now. I think the price would have gone even lower. And you can pick up really good secondhand deals for these on Facebook Marketplace and things. I've got so many cameras just by looking for that. People buy it, they use it for a couple of weeks or months, and then they'll sell it for considerably less than brand new. You can get good brand new deals as well. I think on Amazon, sometimes on the GoPro website, they have some promotions going on. Just remember, you need a high-speed SD card whenever you buy whenever you want to go for that 4K footage. So be wary of that. What we're going to do, guys, I want to review Noor's track. Then we're going to go to Hassan and Rami. Did you have any footage or anything that you wanted to review?
No, I just wanted to talk about my race.
No worries. Let's go through Noor, and then
Okay.
we'll take a break. We can have a chat, and then we'll go over to Hassan, hopefully.
Okay.
Hassan, go for it.
Yeah, I have a problem with my YouTube. It just won't. It does not want to upload a video.
Oh no, you're getting one of those errors, maybe.
Yeah.
I did get a
It
link
uploads.
of something.
It says there's just an error.
It's saying it's not available, that link you shared.
Yeah.
Do you have like another account you can upload it
I mean,
through?
I actually I can try something.
Try it out. Let me know. We still got a bit of time, yeah?
Yep.
All right, Noor, I'm just clicking onto your sorry, Zachary, before we go to
Omar, would you be able to look at a TikTok video? Because that's the
Sure.
thing is TikTok, because I'm trying to upload my video to YouTube. Well, it's Harry's footage, but
Okay.
it's got 34 minutes left, and the thing is, I've got like half of it, like my bit already uploaded to the bit that I'm in, obviously, already
Excellent.
uploaded to TikTok. So if you
TikTok.
could put you on that.
Yeah, share a link over, and we'll go through it, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, Noor, you've shared the track. Is it called Amigo Karting?
Yep.
Excellent. How often have you been to this track?
I was there a few times last summer and the summer before. I don't really remember how many times. This summer I did like maybe 5 times I went this summer.
Excellent. It's almost every week.
Almost, yeah.
Is this near the F1 track, or am I mistaken? I'm not very good with geography in Canada. Montreal, right?
Either, but
I think Montreal is
be.
and then the F1 track is it on a separate island? I don't know. It's somewhere here. It's Montreal, but it's not too far. That's always one of the flagship races on the F1 calendar. I believe one of the years in Montreal it snowed so bad they had to cancel the race. So
that checks out. Yeah.
That happened. How is the weather currently at this track when you were
so far it's been really good. I think there was one time that we went was like a bit rainy, but it wasn't too much, so it was okay. Yeah, they're gonna keep going till October, so
Excellent.
I guess it just depends on if we get rain or not.
Yeah. And have you driven in the rain before? You've just done the dry sessions?
Not at Amigo, no.
It's a really different experience because the lines and everything like that changes, and it's all about feeling as well of the car. I'm just referring back to the screenshot you shared. So it's this, I guess, A layout. Is it 600 meters, this one?
This was the 600, yeah.
This is the 600. So basically, we start
I just flipped it. Yeah.
Oh, you flipped it. You know what? Let's use yours because this is not loading up clearly. Let's just open it up. Awesome. Nice. So is the start line, do you drive in this direction? I assume.
No, so we start like at the bottom. You see where but we go the other direction.
Oh, the other direction. So you're actually going down like this.
Exactly.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's like uphill and then downhill.
Uphill, downhill. When you look at a track like this, observe the different sequences of corners, and is there anything similar between them? Generally, when you have a long straight lines, or even a straight consisting of almost an S section over here, that's quite straightforward. I assume it's all flat out, right? Through this uphill part? Absolutely flat out. So the main part we need to focus on is these hairpins.
Yes.
And it's a really interesting combination of hairpins you got, because you got almost a long right-hander. It goes into a really tight hairpin, and then into a sort of medium long left-hand hairpin. Which corners are you struggling at though at this track, on this layout?
So the one at the very bottom,
turn one,
and also the second one. Sorry, the third one, the last one.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's just try and find some footage real quick. Let me bring up a link.
I can send a link of somebody who did.
Yeah, if you got some, send it over. Let's try and take a look at that.
Yeah, I don't have footage yet. This is one
2 years ago. Supercards.
There's not a lot on YouTube, but this is what I'm searching. So if you want to search the same.
I've got a link up over here now. This is just from a couple of years ago. Same cards. These black chassis with these silver handles on them. Same cards, right?
Yeah, same cards.
Amazing. I believe he's just gone through the first corner. Right, let's watch a couple of laps. It looks a lot tighter than the track map, that's for sure. But it looks like a very high-speed track. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a bit of banking as well. And then you've got a hairpin. Do you normally go with friends, or do you just drive with random people when you go?
So sometimes I go alone, and so there's the random people that I'm driving with. But for the races, or when I'm practicing with like a group, I have like friends and like people like in our like rental league. Like we have a group.
Amazing. And how have your lap times progressed? Have you seen a steady improvement, especially because you've done lots of driving recently?
Yes. So at one of them, I saw like a dramatic like 2-second improvement.
Okay.
And then after that, I've been doing like, it's been going up steadily. So I think probably the dramatic one was just like I figured out like how to do the line a bit better.
Yeah.
And now, I think I think my biggest struggle is like when to like press the acceleration.
Okay.
I feel like I might go out of control. I think.
Yeah, and that's totally normal to feel, and especially on a track like this, lots of things go through your mind. Do I have to brake here? Should I enter wider, tighter? And just by looking at this driver's footage, this is a momentum track. So what you want to do is listen to your engine and make sure the revs are as high as possible. So there's a high pitch sound. And whenever you go into the corners, try to be a bit conservative on the entry. In terms of acceleration, be on the gas before the apex of the turn. If we go through to, let's say, turn one, for example, you got turn one over here. You can be a bit cautious on entry, brake early, have a wide entry. And then what we want to do, just at this point, the apex, be on the gas. Make sure we're accelerating out of the corner. I'm actually going to bring my pen up over here so we have a better view. Turn one, is there any specific reference point you're using for braking or something to help you? Because it's a very long straight before turn one.
So this is if you're referring to this one right here?
Yeah, this turn one, right?
Basically, so when they get us started, it's like that will be the last turn that we do, and then we lap.
Gotcha.
That's why,
I was just referring to this start line and these grid marks.
I know.
Let's say you've done an outlap and you've done it. Let's call this turn one, for example, because I know you exit the pit lane out of there. I understand.
Okay.
Any reference for braking over here?
The last line that just passed. So
gotcha.
Go back a bit.
We're coming up to Ah, okay. So this white line on the track.
That one, yeah, I think the last one on the
on the right side.
On the left side. So the one that
Okay.
he's at right now is when I start to brake.
Amazing. So you're braking over here, which is nice and early in the corner.
I've also take this one a bit wider than he did. I don't know
Okay.
if that's correct or not.
Where are you turning in for this corner? Is it quite late, or is it where he's doing?
Can you back up a bit?
Sure. Coming up to our reference for braking, boom, just over here.
Probably halfway through. Yeah, like no, not there. Maybe. Yeah, right there.
Awesome.
Probably.
Halfway down the curb, turning in. That's not bad. And yeah, we want to try to hit, especially for a hairpin like this, which is followed by a long straight, go for a late apex. So the idea is, if we look at the overhead shot, you can understand how tight this corner is. You want to do something like this, where you're coming in wide, you can turn in a bit later than normal, but then cut across the track and go for a late apex. So this part in blue, you can see there's a gap. We're leaving space. So we're missing the early apex, we're almost missing the middle apex, and then you can hit a late apex at the end of the corner. What this allows you to do is, by just turning in sharp and slightly late, so which is over here, it's about this point where my arrow is, and my blue circle is, where we're on the accelerator. So this is all progressively feeding the gas, and by the time we hit the late apex, we should be 100% on the gas.
Okay.
So that means you're braking for that corner. You're doing about here. You can see that line on there, which is not bad. I'd rather you start braking at this point and then slowly make it later, maybe a meter after this white line, and then maybe try and go a bit deeper and a bit deeper. What you can afford to do, especially when you go for a late turn in, you can afford to go deeper into a corner. So think about if we're approaching this turn, if I'm going to turn early halfway down this corner, yeah, I need to brake early. I'm going to start turning here. We have that extra bit of track to drive into, so we can afford to carry a bit more speed on entry. Play around with the experiment, as I said. Ideally, when you hit the apex, try to be as close to the inside edge as possible. What you don't want to do is leave a gap and then lose time like that. So the more distance there is from this curb to your tire, that means the next lap I need to be tighter, or you might just be going too fast. You're carrying too much speed through there. Okay. Same thing actually goes for corners that are going up. Let's just see how this driver takes this upcoming corner. It's important we don't neglect this part. When you go on a straight which has a winding S section, always try to take the straightest path possible, or the shortest path possible. So treat these tires as your apex. This is our first apex. We're riding as close to the left-hand side as possible. Always look ahead in karting. We want to look ahead to the next apex, which is this tire barrier. So drive towards that in a straight line as possible. You'll see this driver does that. Hits this apex nice and close to the tire barrier on the right side. And now where should we look? Over here to the next apex. Tire barrier side. Boom. We've hit that on the left side. Now where do we look? Keep looking ahead towards the straight line. Take the shortest path. As we get closer to the hairpin which is coming up, so we've hit our final apex over here, the white line can act as the apex or the track limits. Okay. But this is the last moment you want to be staying to the right-hand side of the track. Now we should be looking ahead to the left. Why should we look to the left? It's because we've come to the end of the straight. And at the end of the straight, if we can stay to the left, we can prepare for this long right-hander. Let's see what this driver does. So he'll go to the left-hand side. This is an apex point once again. Tire as close to the red and white curb as possible. Okay. He stays wide on entry. Interesting, actually, he's not that wide. He's actually in the middle of the track. Are you braking for this corner or lifting?
No, just lifting.
Lifting. And where are you lifting?
I I think about the.
Is any reference on feeling?
Yeah, I think this one's mostly on feeling, but after that white, the white and the red, like the very end of the.
Just about here, you'd be lifting.
Maybe actually a bit closer. Maybe right there.
Yeah, about here. It's hard to tell. Maybe you can use this as a gauge because that's a solid post. The closer I get to that, the sooner I need to start braking or lifting. Is it a long lift or a brief lift, and then you put the gas
right to where I get to like one of the red signs, and then I press gas again.
So you're lifting. Now back on the gas. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
and
bad.
I lean out for this one.
Amazing. I was just gonna say this is a high-speed corner. As you turn right, shift your body weight to the left, lean out. That's awesome. Load those outside tires with grip. Has that helped you, the leaning?
Yes.
Excellent.
A lot. Yeah.
Keep it up. And then we have, of course, the hairpin coming up. This corner, driver that we're watching, he's prioritized, I would say, a late apex. So let's watch the distance to the inside curve. He starts in the middle, still leaving a gap to the white line. Not a big gap, but leaving a gap to the white line. Still keeping a gap to the white line. Now he goes back to the middle of the track, midway through the corner. This is technically a middle apex, but he's still keeping a gap. And then as the corner tightens on exit, watch how he puts a bit more steering input. And now the gap is reduced to the inside, almost to where he's touching that tire. So what he's done is something like this. He's broken the corner into 3 parts. This is your early apex, this is your middle apex, and he's gone for the late apex. So he said, I want to be close to the corner over here. The logic behind that is the moment you, let's say you take an early apex. So that means you're going to go from the outside, nice and tight, and hit an early apex. What will happen, the tighter you go here, you'll either have to lift off the gas now to continue staying tight, or if you continue going flat out, you're naturally going to understeer and head out wide into this outside barrier. And now our line is messed up. So what if we take a middle apex? So we stay wide, we're going to skip the early apex, but now we're going to turn in and stay tight. Hit a middle apex. If we continue on this line, the same thing will happen. We're going to drift out wide too early. And now we have to cut back onto the track. So what you want to try to do is say, this is my apex point. Let's put it in red. That means I can enter the corner wider. I don't need to turn sharply. I can turn 50% over here. Skip the early apex. Stay in the middle of the track. Still 50% of steering angle. Skip the middle apex. And now I can put 60%, 70% of steering angle. Turn to the right and just hit the apex. And now from this point, point A to point B, straight line. Take the shortest path possible. That's the logic behind taking a late apex. So always think about when you take a wider line like this, when you can skip the early apex and skip the middle apex, we're not putting as much steering input in. That means we can carry more speed. That is what the driver over here is doing, where he's flat on the gas. I'm just watching his foot over here. And he's absolutely flat out, which is amazing. Have you tried taking this flat out, this corner?
What do you mean by flat out?
So 100% on the gas, no lifting.
Oh yes,
no lifting, no braking. Have you tried that before?
Without lifting at all, like in the beginning?
Yeah.
No.
That's something you can slowly attempt. So basically, right now you're lifting here just as the curb ends. So you're lifting and then you're getting back on the gas at the red sign. What I would say is lift later. So as we said, use this pole on the right side. As I get here, let me lift now. And then I'll release off I'll get back on the gas at the sign again. And then do that later on the next lap. So the next lap, I'm going to go after the sign. So I've missed the pole on the right side. Now I'm going to lift. And now we've hit the red sign on the left. I'm going to get back on the gas.
Okay.
Finally, to attempt to take this corner flat out, I would firstly start with a wide entry. So this driver's probably done lots of laps. He's confident in his line to enter it from the middle. I would still say go wider until the white lines. When you can widen up the corner, it becomes so much easier to take this corner. What you got to do, especially when you take a corner flat out, 100% on the gas, stay wide, progressively put more and more steering input in. So if we put this in slow-mo, just watch the steering wheel. It's holding it to the right, holding it to the right, holding it to the right. And the steering wheel is almost staying in the middle, right? So a couple of ways to achieve almost a neutral steer. Number one, leaning, especially when you're going to be going flat out, now lean even more into the outside of your seat. And also firm grip on the steering wheel. You got to really hold it firmly. Do you have any gloves that you wear when you drive?
Yes, I do. And they
Amazing. That'll help a lot compared to going bare hand. I know some drivers, when they go bare hand, they say, I can't grip it properly. Especially when you have gloves, firm grip on the wheel, hands in a fixed position. So he's holding it pretty much in the middle, slightly higher. Lean out. Skip the middle apex or early apex, skip the middle apex, and then at the end of the corner, now go nice and tight. Final couple of corners. This is interesting. I assume you're braking for this?
Yep.
Where's the reference for braking here that you're currently doing?
I think I brake pretty late for this.
Okay.
And I take it wider than he did as well.
Let's just slow it down. So tell me when to stop.
Like probably right here.
About here. Okay. Braking.
And I take it wider
You're using more of the track over here.
Yeah.
Cool. That's not bad. He's turning in. What about the apex? What apex are you taking here?
I try for a late one.
Late apex. Okay. Late apex. Stay towards the right hand side of the track.
Yeah. So when I'm out of there, I'm closer to the tires than he was. So
yeah. And then this final corner, is it tap of the brake, flat out, lift? What are you doing here?
Yeah, so tap on the brake and then turn. I struggle a lot with this corner. I don't know where the
okay
line is.
So this has braking, no worries. This is an interesting double hairpin where it's not that the two hairpins are so close that you can, let's say, brake for the first one and then basically take the second one flat out. It's too long of a straight. So what you need to do is prioritize braking points. It's interesting. We can see from the overhead shot, there's actually a tarmac change. So this is the light patch and this is the dark patch. These are good references for grip. So the darker patch generally means it's a bit grippier, and especially in the rain. I don't know if you've driven this layout in the rain before.
Not in the rain. No. Like
I think
it wasn't like like rain.
Basically these patches will come alive in the rain. The outsides of these patches will be very grippy, but then the lighter patches, they got less grip on it. So what you want to think about is actually turning and getting rotation on this patch. And to give you a visual reference, this driver did something similar. So what we're doing is we're approaching this corner, light surface or light tarmac, light color tarmac, boom. Now you can see it transitions just over here. So he's gone quite early. I've observed his kart through these laps. It's an understeery kart. So understeery kart means the front tires have less grip. So when you turn, the kart is not going to go where you instructed. So you have to turn excessively. So watch how much he's turning. He's putting almost 180 degrees of steering lock, and he's doing that all the way. Look at that, into the corner. So there's no grip on these front tires, basically. What you got to do, and then at the apex now, he's actually still holding up some steering angle. So that's something we'll discuss after, understeer versus oversteer in terms of your kart. What you want to do is brake and turn. So braking and turning will induce oversteer. So I'd do something similar to this. Sharp initial input, you can see is putting high amount of steering input in, brake hard. But what you want to do is about here, you'll feel the rear end of the cart start to rotate. Remember, I mentioned hard braking, lock the rear tires. So you'll get rotation. So once you get rotation, instead of excessively steering to the right, you'll now be controlling that oversteer, steering more to the left. And as you're doing already, go for a late apex. Late apex is perfect because you want to set up for the corner that's coming up. What you don't want to do is end up you don't end up too far to the left and then zigzag and come back to the right and then come back all the way to the left. On the overhead shot, overhead shot will show it clearer, where we don't want to take a middle apex, end up wide, come back here, go back there. Rather, take a shorter path. Sharp late turning, hard on the brakes, get on the gas before the apex. Late apex, stay on the right or middle part of the track. Now you just position the car to the right. That's a lot smoother. Once again, we got this tarmac change. You can see from the overhead shot. Use that to your benefit. So just after the darker patch, that's a great time to start turning in. Just by looking at this corner, it's mid to late apex. So you can probably get away. You can get away the middle apex. If you go deep in the corner, you can go for a late apex once again. Probably get a better exit. Let's just observe what this driver does. So he's coming into the corner, heads out nice and wide. And he's relatively sharp with his turn in again, not too much. He's gone for a late apex. It looks like mid to late apex. And then he'll use the track on exit. Try and bring up another lap, clean lap. So here we go one more time. From the outside edge. It looks like, just a tap of the brakes. And then, he's not, on this clear lap, I'm just watching his footwork. It's either a tap of the brakes or a brief lift. Where are you braking over here? Any reference for braking?
Probably a bit like right where that, you see where the curve of the line is that right there?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So about here, you would say?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Yeah, these corners are difficult because there's no clear point, but this is a great part. I'd always encourage you to brake early in a corner, induce some rotation, do some oversteer, and get on the gas before the apex of the corner. Doesn't matter if you brake early, as long as you're on the gas before the corner, which is essential for this turn, you now have a long straight to build that speed back up. Always think about how quickly can I exit the corner. Not necessarily about how quickly you enter it. No worries if I brake a bit early. I can get on the gas before the apex of the turn. A couple of things to experiment over here. Continue braking as you are. What you could try next time is lifting. Now, when you lift, you might have to lift a bit earlier because the cart's not going to slow down as quickly as braking. Also, what you want to do is be even more aggressive with that turning. So when the cart is forced to slow down by you lifting, sharp initial input will also enable it to slow down. Then you can get as close to this curb on the left-hand side, build your speed back up to the exit. What about these curbs? Have you tried to ride some of these curbs? Is the cart sensitive to it? What's your experience?
I definitely, I've they're not sensitive to it. Like I went over them.
So you can do two wheels, yeah?
Yes.
Amazing. I would continue doing that. More than anything, just to recap, there's a clear trend at your track, right? It's all hairpin corners. First corner is a hairpin. Second corner is a long right hand, almost a hairpin. Third corner, that's a tight hairpin. And so is the fourth one. Very straightforward. Late apex, pretty much for all of these turns. When you do a late apex, you can go a lot deeper into the corner, and then at the last moment, sharp late turn-in, cut across the track, get the best possible exit speed. For a wider corner like turn 2, let's just call this turn 2, think about staying wide or in the middle of the track, avoid apexing too early at the final part of the track, then get close to the tire barriers. Double hairpin sequence. Always the first of the 2 hairpins requires braking. Go for a late apex once again for the first hairpin, so you can set up for the second hairpin. Now, we can probably convert this second braking point into a lifting point. That means we just got to lift early. So I'll put a dotted line over here. Sharp late turn, late apex once again. Carry as much speed back onto the exit to finish off the lap. So now what we've done is brake early, the first hairpin, and converted this part to a lift. What you got to remember though, especially when you lift, you got to lean out more as well. Yeah. So use your body weight, especially when you try to take a narrow corner like this at medium speed. And I think you should be good to go after that. When are you next going to the track?
I'm gonna go tomorrow for just a practice by myself, but then there's a race on Thursday, I think. Is it this Thursday?
Wow,
Yeah,
are you going to
this Thursday.
participate?
Yes, it's a rental league. So
have you done that before?
I did at a different one. It's called Quillon. It's also in Gatineau, Quillon actually, but yeah, so that was a different experience than Amigo.
What was the format of the sprint race?
Oh, sorry. I think my.
Sorry, what was the format of that sprint race? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What was the format of that sprint race?
Which one, Quillon or Amigo?
Yeah, the one you did.
The one I did at Quillon was I believe it was 5 minutes qualifying and 10 minutes race. Is that?
Excellent.
I think that was, yeah.
How did you get on?
What do you mean?
Oh, what was your finishing position in that race, and how did it go?
Oh, those I don't perform very well yet, so I'm near the last.
No, that's so you got to start somewhere, and what you'll find is the more of these races you do, the more experience you're going to build up. So what you got to think of is small improvements every time, and usually the first ever sprint race you do, there's a lot of nerves. Because you're unsure of, what to expect from the other drivers. You're trying your best to compete and be the fastest. So mentally, you're under a lot of pressure. What you got to think about is trusting your practice. So if you do lots and lots of laps, when it comes to the race, that stays the same. The line, the braking, things like that. The only thing that's different is then your competitors on track. When you go wheel to wheel, how you pass, how you overtake, defend, things like that. And that's what we call racecraft. So racecraft is the ability to overtake cleanly, to defend cleanly, to deal with pressure. So what will happen is you might be leading the race and suddenly there's 2 guys on your bumper. Mentally, you can get pressurized and then make a mistake. But the more of those races you do, more times you get yourself in that situation, the better it's going to get. And the good thing for you is, even if you're finishing towards the back now, you can only go forward. So you've got to think about, I'd say, keep up the practice in terms of learning the track and refining your line so you can get faster and faster. And then when you go to the race, how can I overtake the guy in front? Sometimes it's important, don't even force the overtakes. Try to just follow whoever's in front and tag along. So what you're doing is you're mirroring their line. And then if you feel that they're holding you back, then you can go for the move. That's what we call, sometimes what we call working together is, 2 drivers at similar pace. If they stay on the same line, they can actually catch the drivers in front of them. And, then it becomes quite strategic after. So it's not that every single lap it's cutthroat. You have to, go for the move and you've got to defend your position. All this. Sometimes just work together. And, you can use things like hand signals and all this to communicate with the other drivers or speak to them before that. But I would encourage you, don't give up. Completely normal what you're feeling now. And the best way for you to improve your positions in these sprint races is to do more sprint races and supplement that with that weekly practice. So we went over a few pointers for your hairpin turns. Try and implement that from now on, and let me know how you get on.
Definitely will do. Thank you so much.
Was there anything else before we move on to the next driver you wanted to cover?
No, I think that's it.
Excellent. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your track with us, Noor. And you can stay on the live meet, or you can follow on the live stream. Gonna take a quick break. Harry's saying that track looked fun. It looked amazing, actually. And it's very, very high speed. Had a couple of comments on Instagram, I believe. Did anyone request to join? I don't want to hold anyone up. It looks like we've had Arthur. Arthur, I've just admitted you into the academy. So let me just send you the welcome message. And I believe you're joining us from London. So it'd be nice to see which tracks you're driving at. On YouTube, let's just check if there's been any new comments. I don't think there have. No, just some people saying Three Sisters is a good track. Cool. Let's take this opportunity to just quickly run everyone through the academy interface. Had lots and lots of new members join. So once you're admitted into the academy, there's going to be a number of pinned comments. These pinned comments are quite important. There'll always be a track help pinned comment. Here you'll find the meeting link, how we're hosting this discussion. And within that, we're going to be reviewing the first 5 submissions every week. For example, Jackson put a track map up. He doesn't have his own footage. Chris, he put his own footage that he had. Share it as a YouTube link, because that's how we can share screen. We had Andre over here. He put a track map and he put his own footage. We're going to get to Leon. Don't worry. Leon, I believe you just put some footage in there now. We've got the level 1 training program now. This is a very new program which was launched a couple of weeks ago. We did a soft launch. We haven't officially advertised this to the general public. It's only for the academy members. And this is a program which I've been teaching for the past 4 years at my local track. And due to high demand and many people asking how to follow my program from abroad, I've made it available online on the KTips Academy. So you can find the program in the classroom section. This is a paid program. It's $105. But what do you get in it, and what is this program? Well, it's a hybrid program. So there's a number of video lessons which you can watch each week. And there's a clear objective after each week of what you got to implement at your track. The idea of this program is to get your fastest lap time in 4 weeks. So each week you're learning a new skill. You go to your track, you implement that skill at your track, you record your progress through your driver logbook. Taking down notes is very, very important, especially when you go to professional levels of karting and racing. You will be given some kind of a driver logbook. That's what I personally was given when I did owner karting during the Rotax Max Challenge. And of course, when I did Formula 4 as well, that was the first thing my engineer told me. All of the data and all of our session objectives and post-session analysis is recorded in this driver logbook. Driver logbook consists of, as I said, different objectives you've got to fill out, and track map as well before and after each session. It's good to take down notes. See, if you go to the track every week and you just do sessions, the next time you go back, most likely you forgot what you did. So this way you can actually have some data, and more importantly for rental karting, write down notes about the kart. If you take a new kart every week, you got data about, let's say, kart 16, you got some data about kart 21, kart 27, then come a competition, you do your kart draw, you got kart 27. Oh, I drove that last month, and you've already got some feedback of how the kart was. Was it good in the straight lines? Was there any understeer, oversteer? How was the overall tire grip? Different things like that. So you'll basically fill that out at your track once you do your sessions, and then you'll get an online coaching session. The 1-to-1 online coaching session. We'll review your progress from that week, and we'll plan ahead for the week ahead. You'll also be given a level 1 textbook to support your learning. So this has the key points in it. And within 4 weeks, you will be able to gauge your progress through faster lap times. That's the bottom line. And by the 4th week, that is hopefully when you would have got your fastest lap time. Who is this suitable for? Especially for drivers who are just new to karting and learning their track, but also for more experienced drivers who are learning a brand new track. When I go to a new track anywhere in the world, this is the exact format I follow to get some of my fastest lap times. So we cover all of that in the level 1 program. The third pin comment, very important that you fill it out. It's great to introduce yourself to the community. Since December last year, we've had, obviously when we launched the academy, we've had people all over joining, and you put a brief introduction about where you race, what tracks you've done, and what karting experience you have. Kobe from Belgium, we have Saad from Morocco, Umut from Turkey, Patrick from Croatia, Jacob from Poland. Very diverse community, but everyone's got their own unique karting tracks. Finally, you have the chat section. So in the chat section, you can put whatever questions you might have. Jeremy posted something about driving in the wet. What is the best braking technique for the wet? It's a very, very interesting question. You know, feel free to respond. We had Guelme from Brazil respond, giving his input about that. We had Matthias as well. I would recommend, in terms of braking in the wet, human ABS. Pump the brakes, especially in these rental cars. Then you got, you know, comments of people posting their wins. So we had Ignacio over here posting about his fastest lap time and, you know, how he used certain techniques to get best lap of the day. So feel free to put any of your questions over here. You can get it answered by myself or by other experienced drivers on this group. It's very, very important. So that is basically the whole interface of the academy. And we're going to go ahead to comments over here. I believe we had Arthur. Arthur was asking what's the best way to brake in rental cars. We covered that with Noor earlier. Threshold braking is the best way in rental cars. Brake hard early in the corner. Use the brakes to turn the cart so you can be on the gas before the apex of the turn. We're going to wrap up today's session in about half an hour. In between that time, I want to go over to Leon. What's up, Leon? Welcome back.
Hi.
Leon, you joined Track Help a couple of weeks back. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did, but I was been a bit busy since then.
Amazing, amazing. So you do junior road tax, I believe, is at PFI. That was the last one you shared, right?
Oh no, that was Jao Castro.
That was somebody else. So did we review any of your footage before?
No, we didn't.
Ah, okay, excellent. Do you know Joao?
Not personally, but I know.
Okay. Is he one of the drivers in the Junior Max Championship you do?
I actually don't do a Junior Max Championship because my engine seized here, so we're going to put a new one in and do a different 4-stroke championship. But
excellent.
Yeah.
So it's your first time joining a live Track Help session. The first time we're chatting.
Yeah, it is.
Amazing. Welcome, welcome. Where are you joining us from?
Up north in Britain.
Amazing. What's your local track?
Houghton Park, really.
Houghton Park. Wow, this is
you might want to meet the audio. It's awful.
GoPro?
Yeah, it's a bit of a knockoff, to be honest. But I just wanted to get some footage of it.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. Even the audio is it's a bit muffled, but that's not to worry. Is this a typical practice session that you were doing at Houghton Park?
Yeah, this is just an open session, so anyone who wants to go on track can just go on track. But
yeah, excellent. How long have you been doing owner karting for?
Owner karting, not long, to be honest. This is my third kind of time going there.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah.
Have you done rentals before this?
Yeah, a lot of rentals. I did basically the electric equivalent to Club 100.
Oh, okay. What's that?
So it's called GKL, and They don't
Nice.
do seniors. They only do juniors and cadets and bambinos.
Wow, wow. So what chassis is that? Is that a rental car chassis or owner car chassis?
It's a Tony kart. It's a owner.
Gotcha. And that was electric.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. How long did the batteries last on that?
I'm not sure how long, but I have overheard them saying that after a session they got down to only 70%. So I'd say they last quite long.
Not bad. How fast can you go in those? Let's say on the straights.
Without ballast, someone has hit 60 before, but they're not the slowest, not the fastest. Sorry,
Okay.
you can change the speeds on them. They
That's
can do
miles per
remote.
hour, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. So you did GKL for a while, then you've gone into junior road tax, basically, or did you
Yeah.
just buy a junior road tax? for practice?
We bought one for practice. So I
Right.
haven't done any race on it, but you'll see at the end of this, it does seize up. So
That's too bad. What happened? Like, did you figure out why?
yeah,
went
so
into-
I opened it up, and there was just metal all over the cylinder. Inside the engine.
Oh. So it looks like a clear track over here. And is this the first run of the day, or you've done a couple of sessions before this?
I think this was the second time I went out.
Yeah. Which tires are you running?
Really, really old Mojo D5s. So they've been sitting out drying
Okay.
for about a year by this point.
They don't look too bad. Based on the front right, it doesn't look too bad. I've seen
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
How did it feel though when you're driving on track with these?
It was very slidey, and I
Mm.
couldn't get much grip into the corners. But
Yeah.
other than that, it was all right, to be fair.
So, are you planning to join the championship, or you're just going to basically do practice for now?
Yeah. So we're saving up, and I've basically stripped this car down, and we're saving up for a different 4-stroke engine.
Okay.
And we're
Is that
gonna
the
do that.
GX one? GX
Yeah.
Pro Kart?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard from many drivers that's a lot more affordable, and they have a lot of races actually across the country. Quite a competitive format. Oh, that's a big off there. Good save.
Yeah.
Good save. What happened here?
Following this guy who's in a quicker kart, better brakes, and I just pushed it way too far.
Yeah, that's something to watch out for.
Yeah.
In terms of the Pro Kart Championship, so they do these endurance races as well in those. I believe it's 3 hour, 6 hour races.
Yeah.
Are you
So
planning
the
to just do sprint or both?
Yes, the one I'm doing, it's only one engine, so it's like Briggs, if you've heard of that.
I'm sure I've heard of that. I don't know exactly what it is, but
Yeah, so it's
they're
basically
not the twin engine, basically. Single engine.
Yeah.
Perfect. Better reliability, you reckon?
Yeah, much better. You only have to do a rebuild. I think it's every about 50 hours, which is
Not
great.
bad. Yeah, not bad. And what's the sort of calendar for that? Is it in winter or summer only?
It's around now, so the last round's in October.
Yeah.
There's only 6 races, which is
when does it start?
I think January, kind of February-ish. So
yeah, one a month maybe, or one every couple of months.
Yeah.
Not bad. You know, with owner karting, it's always important to have a plan in place for everything. I mean, number one, everything just costs more, whether it's the cart, the race entry fees, this, that. But if you have even an Excel sheet of all these, different costs, and you have different championships in mind, then you have a target and something to, as you said, save up for.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, keep up your practice. What's the total budget for a whole season, you reckon?
Right now, that I need, it would probably be about, I'd say, anything upwards of about 3,500, but we're looking to get some sponsorship this season. Yeah.
£3,500, and that's after you've bought the cart, of course. Or with the cart.
So that's including the engine that we're about to buy.
Gotcha.
But we're only going to start doing it next year, so kind of start from clean then.
How much is the engine?
The engine, there's two kind of ways you can buy it. You can buy it with the clutch, the throttle cable, the oil that goes inside of it. That's about, I'd say it's bordering 900, and then you can just get the plain engine with nothing on it. It's obviously been tuned, both of them, and that's about 600, I'd say.
Gotcha.
But so since it's our first time, we're not going to risk anything.
Yeah. And are you going with a team, or it's just a DIY sort of?
Yeah, privateer, just you.
Perfect.
But it's a really nice community, so they help out a lot.
I was going to say, I think it's a bit different to Rotax, where you're restricted to the teams, and then there's a driver, Harrison Pugh. Do you know Harrison Pugh?
I don't.
He's doing the GX Championship, and he was telling me how it's, even if you want to join as a one-off in some of the rounds, you can just hire out a cart. They do the endurance races, the sprints, and they do some good tracks as well, which is important.
Yeah.
I think the main difference, though, is it will be in driving style, because you're going from 2-stroke to 4-stroke, and the speed will be less, I believe, right? Junior Rotax compared to this.
Yeah. So the GX engines, they top out at about, I think it's 47 that was measured at the last race. They topped out as. Whereas,
okay.
As you know, Rotaxes are quite a bit quicker.
You almost have to transfer back to almost a rental car style of driving. Yeah. And for example, here you can do a lot of trail braking. You can carry brakes into the corner. Got to be careful with your throttle input. There's a bit of a delay, and then suddenly RPMs top out. In the GX, have you done any driving in those before with the owner cart chassis?
No, I haven't. So it's going to be brand new.
I would recommend, if you have some time and some cash on the side, go with Pro Kart UK. Have you heard of Pro Kart UK?
Yeah, I was going to a Tilson T4 test, and they were there. So excellent. I mean, I've kind of dabbled into 4-stroke.
Yeah. With Pro Kart UK, they'll give you the Honda GX engine with it's a Haas chassis, not Haas F1, HAASE. It's an Italian manufacturer, a pink chassis.
I think.
And they do arrive and drive. I think it starts at £50, or here's where the engine goes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst thing to hear. I've had that
hear
before.
It. Yeah.
You can probably just hear it over here. And then it just stops. How did you get it back? You just had to push it back to the pits?
Yeah, just pushed it back because it's got wasn't that bad.
Gotcha. Yeah, going back to Pro Kart UK, you know what? Let me take a look for you right now. Did you meet anyone from Pro Kart UK?
No, I didn't. But there were a lot of people.
There's a really good guy. He's the owner, Josh, and I did some racing in PFI last year with him.
Yep.
And this is their website, the Pro Kart UK. Let's see where their availability is. I believe if you go to shop.
Yeah, so we basically run one of those engines.
Yeah, that's it. They do two of these. Book your online session. Looks like his bookings are not open yet. It's basically on and off. There's Pro Kart UK. I believe there's, who else was there? Was there MS Kart? Did you do it? MS Kart? Have you heard of MS Kart?
Yeah, I have. They were there as well, I think.
Very successful team for this racing. They do really well in the 24 hours at Teesside every year, actually, which is the race in August.
Yeah.
But if you just want to get some practice in whilst you're preparing for the season ahead, these are great ways to do it. Arrive and drive, you can book half an hour, and the more track time you do, the more they subsidize the rate as well. And they do have good tracks. So PFI, for example, I know they go to Rye House, but that's quite south. You're saying Hooton Park. I haven't been to Hooton Park. Where is Hooton Park?
So it's near Liverpool, if you know that is.
Yeah, Liverpool. No way.
Yeah.
Is it just an owner car track?
There is a arrive and drive.
Really?
Yeah. So
I missed it then. Last year I did the UK track tour. I came to Liverpool. I did Team Sport Liverpool. I did Three Sisters, which is up here somewhere. Wigan, I think it is.
Yeah.
So this is close. This is the other side Okay.
Yeah, so I live about an hour
Excellent.
30 away from that actually.
Okay. So it's a bit of a drive. What else would be near for you? Three Sisters, you think?
Three Sisters, and there's another one called One Well. But
One
that
well,
one's
okay.
it's a bit small.
I think this Cumbria is quite far though. I know they do some rounds there.
Yeah, that's a good track.
And
that.
then no, PFI is far as well.
Yeah, it's about a 2-hour drive for me.
That's the thing you got to look into is where everything is located, and then I think when you get your cart, can you just use Hooten Park as your local track to practice at?
Yeah, so it's quite good. It's £50, and you've just got free reign over the track.
How many hours?
What do you get?
Yeah, for £50. Is it per day you pay £50?
Yeah, so £50, and you can go out for however long you want.
Oh, that's excellent. So morning till evening, they're sort of open.
Yeah, then there's no sessions, so it's just literally whenever you want.
Open track, yeah. That's awesome. So you got the chassis basically. You're going to keep that Tony Kart chassis, and then it's just the engine you need to.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other things like an axle and a.
Tell me about it. Yeah, those are the spare parts will add up.
Yeah,
that's for sure. What do you need right now? Just the engine, or you need some other things to get practicing, for example?
Today actually we bought because the axle was stuck on the bearing holders. So I had to tap the bearings out with a screwdriver.
Oh gosh,
it's a pain and very messy. But we've bought some more bearings, an axle, the fuel tank. We also had to just fully cut and rip out.
Right.
And there's one more thing, I can't remember it. But I think now all we need is the engine. And that's it.
Not bad, not bad. You're nearly there. I think once you can arrange for the engine, get it transferred onto the cart, and get practicing. That's the best way to go. I always tell drivers that the time to race and the chances to race will come. Whatever you can do within your control right now, you do as much of that as possible. You 2x, 3x, 10x on that. Do as much of it, and being used to your cart. Obviously, getting to know the maintenance side of it, because if you're going to enter this championship on your own accord, then getting used to repairing your cart, all these things is priceless. What you're doing right now. How are you learning everything? Is it on the go or YouTube videos?
It's just on the go. I think
the
best thing to do is just learn by taking the bolts out and seeing where they go and how to reinstall them.
Yeah. And that really is priceless, that experience. It'll be tedious at the beginning, but then you really get to know your cart inside out. It's very, very, very important.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Leon. Was there anything specifically you wanted to cover, or was that about it?
Not really. I just wanted to share it. Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing it. I appreciate you joining as well. When you get some more footage as well, be sure to share it, and would love to go through it, see how you're getting on. Yeah, with the car.
Yeah. Right. Cheers.
It's been a pleasure, Leon. What's up, Omar? Welcome back.
Hi.
How are you,
How's
Omar?
everything? Yeah, alhamdulillah, I'm good. Sorry, I just woke up.
I was gonna say it's nearly bedtime.
No, it's because I'm sick, so I'm not going to school.
You don't sound well. How? What's up? What's up these days?
Nothing much. Just chilling, going to the gym because I've lost some weight now.
Amazing.
For Mina.
Are you ready for end of the month when kart owner sessions resume?
Yeah, I have some inside news that it's gonna open on the 22nd.
Kart owner sessions, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. I thought so, because public karting, we don't know.
Yeah, well, that's public. We're owners.
Yeah, public is different. No, inshallah, we'll get out on track, and we'll start some preparation.
But honestly, I think rental carts and arrive and drive is gonna open after Mina, because I think Coach Page really wants to focus on Mina now.
Well, that's what we're all preparing for. Let's just give the viewers on the stream an idea of what we're talking about. You don't have any footage, do you, Omar?
Of Mina, I think I do on my phone. I can send it over on WhatsApp.
Let's put Mina on. Why not? Let's put a bit of Mina championship on. We got the live stream. So for those in the live chat, let's try and share this screen real quick. This is the biggest, one of the biggest championships in the Middle East.
It is the
karting
biggest,
championships. I think you can say in terms of drivers, 168 drivers, 16
and people that
different
participate,
countries. Yeah,
the nations themselves.
It's basically a mix of an owner kart championship hosted
And
by
RD1.
Rotax. Yep, Rotax will supply all the engines from Micro, Mini, Junior, Senior, DD2, and then you'll have RD1 category, which is a rental kart with a Rotax engine. What you're seeing in the background is all the different categories going on. It's a competition which takes place December this year. So it's going to be the week of
the National Day.
Yeah, week of the National, about 18th of December, you can say. This is the Lusail karting track. This is where you see all the KTips videos recorded. And I think we were lucky, last year when they did this competition, we got really nice camera crew to do filming of the event. And they got some amazing angles, not only up close to the track, but then live drone shots you'll probably see across this stream. So the way the motorsport season works in Qatar is September to May, which is obviously once things cool down. June, July, August, very hot. How many degrees was it, Omar, this year?
I think 39 on a good day.
No, in summer.
Oh, in summer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would go up to like 44, 45.
Yeah, 50 many days.
50, yeah. Oh yeah, we had like
So
2 days that it was 50.
Yeah, you can't do lots of practice there. So basically the training for, look at this drone shot, look at that, that's beautiful. That's the track above. So our training will begin end of this month for kart owners, and this is basically the championship we're going to be focusing on. And yeah, that's how it is in karting. You know, you set your date for a race, and months before that you prepare yourself on track, but then also physically. You know, keep up some physical training routine, keep up a regular karting routine, on track practice, and then you'll be ready for a race like that. But really, you need, if you want to be serious, 3 months is at a time is minimum preparation.
Omar, I have a question.
Tell me.
So look, now I'm losing weight, okay?
Yeah.
I've lost over 8 kilos now for Mina.
Amazing.
I'm planning on being 70. Is that good enough?
What are you currently?
85. So I have 15 kilos.
Oh, right. What's the category you're planning to do? Senior?
Junior. I'm not old enough for senior.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry. So, what's the maximum weight for junior? What's everyone ballasting up to? All the light drivers in junior.
I think 65.
Is that body weight?
I think if we're talking about ballast.
Yeah. No. How much ballast are they? No. What's the total weight on the scales for Mina? Because you got to weigh in, right?
I'm not sure, but remember
it's about 170 or 160 possibly. It changes. Yeah, it changes from race to race. But basically, you want to be as close to that threshold as possible. You might have to drop to 75 kilos body weight. But yeah, the idea is you got 3 months. Really go on a strict diet. You know, diet is what will get you there.
Yeah,
I've done it. Yeah, I've done it time and time again where obviously I need to put on weight to get to 70 kilos.
Yeah,
that's not my normal weight. Yeah, that's not my normal weight. My normal weight is just above 60, maybe 65 on if I'm eating a bit more than normal. So to put on almost 10 kilos and lose it again, it's really about refining your diet down and honestly cutting out all these processed foods and sugars. The moment you do that, if you can do that for 2 weeks, is crazy. You will drop unbelievable amounts of weight. 2 weeks is all it takes.
I went from 91 to 85.
Yeah, there you go. So you continue on a good pattern now. Some good driving in the background.
That's some nice driving, yeah.
We'll go over to juniors. Who was in juniors? It was Tamim, right?
Tamim and Nasser.
Yes, yeah. So who else is doing junior this year?
I think Mohammed is trying. Mohammed Al Thani is trying to do junior with me.
I thought he's senior though.
He is, but he said he'd rather be junior.
Is he allowed to do that?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Because I thought as soon as you're 15, you're in senior.
True, yeah, but
the regulation.
his birthday is in February, so
okay.
he's gonna be 15.
Ah, right. I thought he was 16. My bad. No, then he's good for junior. He should be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be better for me too. We'll be able to like work as a team.
Yeah, it's very important. And you know how it was last year. I think last year we did better than expected.
Yeah, Qatar got third overall.
Yeah, third overall. But home track, we need to get first this year. Everyone needs to be on their game. So let's see how it goes. Inshallah, end of the month. Let's meet at the track. You're saying 22nd?
Yeah.
22nd. We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. Was there anything else, Omar, before we wrap up? We're coming at 11 o'clock now, so coming to the end of track help.
Not much. Got a helmet design, and that's
nice. I look forward to seeing what your design is.
Also, I was wondering, do you know how much it cost for Mina? 15K.
Yeah, it's 15K for the cart hire and
mechanic.
No, you need to get a mechanic.
I already got one. I already got one in the bag. I already know who I'm gonna take. Liam.
There you go. You got to arrange it now, though.
Oh no, I already did. But I
you arranged it. Oh.
For it.
You're ready then.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
100%. Yeah, Allah, I don't want to take up any more time.
No worries at all. It's always nice for you to join. And let's meet up at the track soon, inshallah. Guys, it has been an awesome session today. Let's just review the chat. We got Aslam saying hi. We got Axel saying hi. What's up, guys? And we've reviewed pretty much everyone's footage. Hassan, you didn't have any luck with your YouTube?
Unfortunately not. I tried another account, but it just processing abandoned. So.
Wow. It's not copyrighted music or anything in there?
No, nothing. It's just raw footage.
Yeah, as normal, right? No worries.
I'll figure it out, and then maybe next week.
Try and arrange that for next week, hopefully. It's been a really, really good session today. We got lots of different people join, and as usual, we're going to be back next week at the same time, Sunday, 6 p.m. GMT. We got a really, really big announcement, hopefully for next week. The second edition of the KTips ebook is coming out now. This ebook is very, very, very comprehensive. I'm talking 10 chapters. I'm talking more than 100 pages. And it's going to be free for everyone to take a read. It covers a lot more things than the current ebook. So you want to be stay tuned for the announcement. We're going to be putting out in the Academy on all the social media platforms from next week. Look forward to sharing with that next week. Guys, until Sunday, 6 p.m. GMT next week. Let's catch up then. Take care. Good night.